hip hop, nerd shit, sports show,
and a little bit of random fuck.
Enjoy.
Yo, this your boy Taylor.
Black is the new black.
This is your good brother, Jonesy.
What's up, everybody? My name is Benjamin Anderson. We are now on the Rageverse Network.
Black is the new black.
Welcome to another edition.
Black is the new black.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Black is the New Black. This is your boy Benjamin Anderson. Jonesy's here. Taylor will probably be here later. Yeah, you know what we do here: sports, nerd shit, hip hop, R&B, debauchery, wrestling, porn reviews.
Yep. Last I heard, Taylor was currently helping a burning bus filled with blind children and nuns get to safety, because he's just that kind of guy, man. So, ladies, slide in those DMs. Get yourself a good man.
Yes, he lets me borrow his Lamborghini every now and again. He is a great man.
Take your sick dog to his cancer treatments. Yeah, man. He's a stand-up guy, man.
Yep.
Salt of the earth guy.
Okay, I just read something that was weird. Okay, anyway, yeah. So sports, nerd shit, and hip hop, and wrestling. Let's start with sports. So the NBA playoffs are hot and heavy right now. We are basically at the end of the road. And going into the NBA finals. Both conference finals are 3-0. Yeah, Nuggets over the Lakers. Nuggets over the Lakers. We'll at least see one sweep because Boston is losing the next game. But Nuggets over the Lakers are up 3-0. Boston is up 3-0. I mean, excuse me. The Heat are up 3-0 on Boston. Mm-hmm. Just general thoughts on those series. The Nuggets are just the better team than the Lakers. So there's not really much to discuss with that series. They're just the better team. Lakers had chances to win basically all three games, and they just didn't execute down the stretch. It is what it is. Shit happens. It is what it is. The other series, the Heat and Celtics series, is a little bit more complicated in the fact that the Celtics are just shutting down their leg the first two games in Boston. That was, both of those games were embarrassing as hell for them to shut down their leg in that way in both those games. And in the last game, they just quit.
Yeah. Last night was an absolute collapse. I just started going, and I was cooling, and I was watching the game, and I decided, you know what? I don't need to watch the rest of this. I got to like the halfway through the fourth quarter mark. I'm like, man, I got to go to work early. I already know the end result of this game, and I pretty much know the end result of this series. After game 2, for me, I was pretty sure they're getting swept, especially going back to Miami. Miami hasn't lost a game at home in the entire playoffs. So, and Jimmy Butler's still going to cook. So I was like, well, you know what? That's a wrap. And like you said, it's like Boston has had a complete basketball intelligence collapse in this series, because on paper, not even on paper, in reality, you go position for position, they have the better players at each position, more or less, minus like Jimmy Butler. And you can even argue, depending on who, I can't remember whether it's Tatum or Brown has the same position. But anyway, point being, Boston, this was a very winnable series for Boston. Very. But it's just, I don't know if they thought they were going to walk into this series because they had the better team and just Miami was going to see their jersey and lay down, or what. Or if, the current coach just can't, I don't even know what term I'm looking for. It's just such a baffling thing to witness. Like, intellectually, I understand what is happening as I'm watching it, right? But actually watching the reality of it, like, if I'm like, yo, so there's a dragon that like landed on my house and won't let me go back inside, I can understand like okay, apparently dragons exist. I have to accept that because that motherfucker's right there on top of my house. Won't let me in. But I still have to come to the understanding and acceptance that there's a fucking dragon over there. And I'm watching this game. I'm watching these games play out. And it's just like, y'all can win these games. Y'all have the personnel. You have the ability. You showed that you know how to play the game of basketball as a collective team, even under this new coach throughout the regular season, throughout periods of the playoffs. Yeah, they've gotten a little lax and let, other teams that shouldn't have even won games against them, get their shit off a little bit. But it's like, all right, but like, it's finals time, man. It's conference finals time. Y'all have the expectation now that, I think for Boston, we're past the point where, a conference final is great progress for them for this set of players.
They've been to the last 4.
Yeah, y'all have championship expectations now. And
they were in the championship last year.
Yes, exactly. Like y'all have anything less than a chip for them. And didn't they lead the East with the best record this year too?
No,
but they're not they weren't the one seed. Who was the one seed?
Philly was the 1 seed.
Okay, Philly was the 1 seed. I stand corrected. But bro, what even are we doing? Like it's time to blow it up and rebuild, man. It's time to blow up and rebuild. They're about to get swept.
No, you can't blow it up and rebuild.
Well, okay. If you're not going to blow it up completely, either you got to. Jaylen Brown needs to go somewhere where he can thrive and be the first option himself. It's one of those situations
I don't think
where
there's any reason to do any of that. You
really
made the championship last year. You've been to 4 straight conference finals. I don't think you should have hired Joe Mazzulla or extended him because a lot of this is being outcoached. Like the game 2, for example. They let Grant Williams. They let Miami just switch Grant Williams on to Jimmy Butler over and over and over again. And that was the game, basically. Joe Mazzulla has been outcoached in every series. The difference is he's been able to get away with it because they're just a better team. Coach Spoelstra is just a really good coach, and he is just out-coaching Joe Mazzulla. I just don't think they should have hired him as a coach. But they're probably not going to blow it up, nor should they. They need a real point guard. I mean, there'll be a really good team next year. There'll be a championship caliber team next year too. So we'll see.
We'll see. I think that team is not going to look at all the same next season, bro. But I see your reasoning. I also get how these like big office people and owners get in situations like this. Hey, we'll see. Maybe it's just maybe the solution is coach, point guard, promised land.
Well, the coach, I think they just hired, so they're not like going to get rid of him.
Oh no! That's a lot of contract,
and they're in the conference finals. Like, it's not. Let's blow the like you're in the conference finals. Like, if they had to get swept in the first round, yeah, but you're in the conference finals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is.
No, I got you. So you're saying don't hit the panic button.
Nah, you just if I was them, I'm trying to get a point guard. Like, more than anything, I'm trying to get a point guard. I think Marcus Smart is a good player. Hell, he won Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's a very good player, but you need a real point guard.
One that can facilitate I got you. Facilitating offense.
So, like I said, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him.
I think they're gonna burn it down, man. But we'll see. Yep. Well, anyway, those guys. We agree that those guys are not they're not coming back from 3-0.
Oh no!
They are going to the Himalayas.
I mean, the Lakers aren't coming back either.
So, no, they're not. They're not. I'm watching tonight's game because I'm a Laker fan. But like, my expectations, even if they pull this one out, the series will be over in 6 or 5 instead of 4. Like, and they're not winning.
I might watch the game tonight. We'll see.
You know what?
It
That's
is
not
what
an
it
anime
is.
I can catch up on too instead of watching that game.
Yeah, like I got anime to catch up on.
I'll probably do that instead. New Gundam Depression.
But kind of is what it is. We're going to we're going to get the Nuggets Heat finals.
And we'll see.
I'm picking the
there.
Nuggets. I don't know if I would say a sweep because I think Eric Spoelstra is good enough to get him at least 1 or 2 games, but I think the Nuggets win.
Maybe one. Maybe one. Personnel wise, like, coaching is great. Someone's got to be on that court to do the shit, and I don't think Miami has enough of the guys to do the shit against this Denver team. Like, this Denver team has been these guys basically from the beginning of the season to now. They were probably one of the more quiet, less talked about 1 seeds that I've seen in a long time. But like they earned that position and they proved that, this Laker team outkicked their coverage as far as expectations. And so as a Laker fan, I'm not mad at it. Like I saw the conversation on First Take earlier about, is this LeBron's last shot at the championship? And I got what Stephen A. Smith was saying, where it's like, okay, these other teams that have become really good in the West are only going to get better and improve with their younger guys. And LeBron is at a certain age where, yes, he's lost some athleticism. And I mean, he wasn't extra or unreasonable is what I'm saying. So like, I get that aspect of it, but I also think that with more time to gel together, with what these guys were able to accomplish since the All-Star break till now, they're going to have even more time to fill out their roles better, become more cohesive next year. So I can see them having a better year next year. And LeBron plays smart. He knows how to work around his physical limitations. Like people, I get it. Ha, kiki, get your jokes off about the missed layup and dunks or whatever. It happens. All right, cool. But let's not pretend this nigga is still not LeBron James. So he's been defying the odds for a long time. I can see him getting another bite at the apple, basically.
We'll see. It's based off what the Lakers do this offseason.
Yeah, offseason.
Because like
that'll solve everything or whatever.
So getting Kyrie,
I've seen that conversation. They don't need Kyrie, in my opinion. In my opinion, comment section.
Getting Kyrie, you would have to lose Rui Hachimura. That's basically it, I think. Because with Austin Reeves, they can match any contract anyone offers them because it's restricted. And I think the Lakers will match. Outside of like someone giving him a super max, which I don't even think he's eligible for. So they'll match that. Getting Kyrie. It depends. It depends on how much they want Rui Hachimura. Because if I'm them, I am keeping Rui. I'm keeping Austin Reeves. I'm keeping Rui. I'm keeping AD in the future. Yeah, I'm keeping Rui. I'm keeping Austin Reeves. As far as point guard, I'm probably looking to let D'Lo go somewhere else or trade him. I don't think it's entirely fair because this is a bad matchup for him. But he has been horrible in this Denver series. Horrible.
I mean, I don't see them letting him go, but I wouldn't do it based off just this series, though. But I get what you're saying.
He was good the last 2 series, but this series
he's been effective. Yeah, like I said, it's a bad matchup. Sometimes, what they say, styles make fights. It's a bad matchup for him.
Yeah, he's been pretty horrible this series, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what they do in the offseason. But, I mean, getting Kyrie isn't the end of the world either. It cuts into some of your depth. Because if you still keep Austin Reeves, you get Kyrie. The rest of the team will have to kind of be... Well, no, because you keep some of the people you have on the team now. I don't know. I personally probably wouldn't get Kyrie. Just because I don't know if I would want to lose Rui. But
I mean, as well, there's the question of just Kyrie. I want to keep it basketball, but like this stuff does affect the basketball. Is Kyrie going to do Kyrie shit in LA? Because Kyrie, everywhere he's going, has done Kyrie shit. And it's like, do you want that being introduced to the locker room chemistry? LA
the only thing I'll say about that is those other places, he was sort of the man. Or he was with like a Kevin Durant.
That said, I came here for him, I want him here type of situation.
Yeah, I don't think he would come into the Lakers and even be able to do anything that would like break the team leadership structure because the leader is LeBron. So like, where he say go. So
he didn't seem to be.
And Kyrie knows that.
Cavs, but then again, he was younger and less mature back then too.
I want to be fair to him because he's also talked about this. I understand to an extent. I want my own shit.
No,
I am playing.
I completely get that.
Yeah, like I'm playing under this dude, and I know this dude is great, but I feel like if you gave me an opportunity, could be the man. And he said he handled it poorly because, if you know,
I see the statements. Yeah, I see the statements on it. It was, real nigga shit. He did some real nigga shit with that. He came forward. He held his. He took accountability for his choices and actions at that time. Like I said, he was a younger, less mature guy back then. So for all I know, maybe this will come together like peanut butter and chocolate. I don't know. We'd have to see depending on what they do bringing him in. But you did raise a good point in the Boston and in the Brooklyn situation. He was the guy, essentially. Yeah. Or even in Brooklyn, he wasn't the guy, but like he was there because the guy wanted him there. That was the plan. Yeah. Like, no, I want, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So we also got the NBA draft lottery. Number one pick was going to the Spurs.
We're gonna have the greatest basketball player since James Naismith threw a ball in a peach basket coming, right? Victor Wembanyama.
I do not think that's fair at all to that dude. Like,
it's not at all. It's not at all. Like, people got to stop with that.
Like, I think Victor Wembanyama probably will end up being good. More than like, I won't even say more than likely, but I think he'll end up being good. Saying that if his career is the equivalent to Hakeem. Yeah, it's only as good as AD, Hakeem, and Tim Duncan. It's a disappointment. It's a really insane statement.
That is possibly, and I mean this.
Saying he is like,
was it Chris Broussard that said this?
Yeah, it was Chris Broussard.
I'll take that. Saying respect part. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, saying that he is the most hyped prospect ever is also false because 20 years ago. LeBron James was a thing. They played high school games on ESPN. I don't know if he said hype
prospect. I think he said the greatest prospect. And I'm like,
greatest prospect, hype prospect, both.
Which is like an even wilder statement. The actual statement he made is even wilder. Like, or whoever made that, that might not have been Broussard. But it's like, come on, man. I was there watching high school games, like you said, on ESPN because LeBron James was playing in those high school games.
Exactly. Like, it's not really comparable.
The ESPN show those EuroLeague games because Victor
they showed. They didn't show any. I don't think they showed any EuroLeague games. They did show when his EuroLeague team played a G League team. They played the presumed number 2 pick, and so they showed that game. But they weren't really showing EuroLeague. Also, I think there's TV rights things. Like the EuroLeague is not. The EuroLeague is the second league. Like they don't. I don't think ESPN could show those games if they wanted to.
All right, true.
It's like TV rights and shit. Yeah, true. But yeah, like I think
they would have, like all things.
Yeah, some. I think they would have shown like them in a championship game or something. I don't think they would have shown like. The problem becomes with that is like if you're going to just show his games, it would make sense to kind of show all their games. So Because
I guess if you had the rights to it, you want to maximize what you can get out of it.
Yeah, you might as well show all the games.
Right. That's true. Trill spill.
Yeah, so they would have, I guess, but they would have had to get the rights to the EuroLeague basketball. So, and I don't even know who has the rights to EuroLeague soccer over here. So,
that's a good question. I think, I wonder who has the EuroLeague.
I know someone does. People watch it. I just don't know who has.
Was it? No. Does HBO have the Premier League?
I think HBO has Premier League.
Yes, because HBO is about to start doing live.
And I think Amazon might have the EuroLeague. Amazon might have the EuroLeague. I know Amazon has one of those.
Amazon has one of them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the lay of the land of the NBA, man. No. Unless you want to talk about like the top prospects all the way, from like one. You want to do like 1 through 5, 1 through 10?
Not really, because I don't know all of them 1 through 5.
Okay.
Like I know Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, but
like you and Taylor would know better than me. So I'm like, man, I know. Yeah, Scoot and Victor are the two guys that I know are gonna that people have the big have their eyes on.
Yeah. Before we get out of NBA stuff,
they got a solid young squad. The Spurs.
The Spurs are 100% taking him.
I was about to correct myself. They know when the Spurs take him, they got a really nice, solid young core guys there that they can build something with.
Yeah,
Spurs are good at doing that. Every couple of years, they come back through with like a squad. So it's about to be that time. Probably 2025, I'd say. We'll see.
Yeah.
So you want to talk
the
about
last little bit of NBA. Yeah, the last little bit of NBA news. John Morant is probably about to get suspended for half the season because he can't stop flashing guns around.
So which aspect of this do we want to go in first? The false equivalencies, or do you want to just table that and let's talk about the problem, what the problem with this is versus what people seem to think the problem is?
Sure.
Kind of the same conversation, but coming from two different approaches at it.
Yeah. So like, I understand, guys, for the people who are like, hey, he didn't do anything illegal. Why you would think that he shouldn't get in trouble for this. And he didn't do anything illegal.
No, he didn't. Nobody was shot. No one was threatened with a firearm. That's a whole nother conversation that ties back to this guy. No one was threatened with a firearm on camera in this case that the NBA is responding to. There.
Yeah.
Right. For that one asshole.
And it would be different.
Actually,
it'd be different if, like, I'm trying to think, random player X who had never gotten in trouble flashed a gun on camera, slap on the wrist. Nobody would be talking about it.
Right.
Ja is out here running around like he's a gangbanger.
Right.
And the NBA, the NBA don't want that. And they're well within their right to not want that. I want people to understand the NBA is a business. The NBA does not want one of the young faces of their league presenting themselves as a gangbanger for no real reason. There's no reason.
Do you remember when Carmelo Anthony got into some heat with the league when he was in, he was just walking back around back home in Baltimore and talking to some guys or whatever. And one of the guys started going on this whole rant about how he's in the streets, It was during the stop snitching era. I probably remember it if I said it. And the guy was like throwing gang signs like, man, if no snitch is gonna die, man, stop snitching, kill all rats, And Melo had the wherewithal in that moment to be like, these niggas this is why I don't come back home. These niggas do not care about me. You know what I had? Like, he had a shoe coming out. All of that was in jeopardy. Like, he didn't lose anything from it, thank God, because he didn't actively do anything in that situation other than, I was just hanging out back, on the block. There's a DVD. Yeah, cool, man. I'm excited to be in the NBA. You're going to be playing with the Nuggets, yada, yada, yada. So, other dude is doing all the dumb stuff. And he's just standing there like, oh, this nigga is wilding right now. That the DVD footage got to the league, and it was, I don't even know if he got any kind of slap on the wrist, but I know
it was on a beef DBZ or something
like that. I know he was there was like an organizational meeting with him, like, probably give him some media training and some PR advice, but his situation wasn't him going out there and being like, like you do that and you're the face of a franchise, one of the like you said, one of the premier young stars of your league, a future face of your league. You don't want that person rolling around wilding like that. I'll put it this way: if making an equivalency for these people that want to do the false equivalencies, if a young white quarterback who was famous in the NFL went to like some wild
a Proud Boys rally,
yeah, right? I was going to say like some wild.
It would. I don't think y'all understand. That would not end well for him. That wouldn't go positively for him.
As conservative as the media actually is in reality, and as conservative as that league particularly is, that's still not a good look because it creates controversial conversation around your product that you don't want as a multi-billion.
It's not even just
entity.
that. But this is a little bit. I guarantee you, a coach gonna pull him aside and be like, "Hey, you throwing the black dudes. You need to relax." Because there's a lot of it. Like before, we like there's a lot of white dudes in the NFL that got conservative beliefs.
Very conservative. Yeah,
whatever.
Right.
They know to shut the fuck up
and win.
And when to shut the fuck up. You go to a Proud Boys rally. Now you got to come back to the locker room and see those other men and explain to them why you went there. But anyway,
like you out there with
my thing with John Morant
shorts and your blood and soil T-shirt. That's not a good look for the franchise.
No, it's not. It's not a good look.
You're sitting over there and stepping on the rainbow side flag thing in whatever month. That hey,
not a good look.
The owner might agree with you, but you did it.
But he gonna tell you to shut the fuck up.
You did it.
He gonna tell you to shut the fuck up.
And that's the problem with y'all. If y'all want to have 500,000 guns, fine. Stop waving them around. Stop brandishing them on camera.
I will even say this. If he wants to be a gang member, I think it's stupid, but fine. You know, there's a bunch of gang members in the NBA. There's a bunch.
A lot.
Like a bunch. People that you don't even realize. Russell Westbrook, for example.
In the original video, or the first video he got in trouble with, there are other players who are full on communicating to that nigga in Damu language. I saw the comments. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that nigga read that. But okay, wow, okay. Anyway.
Russell Westbrook.
And some of
pretty sure it's a crip. DeMar DeRozan is a blood.
Niggas were telling him, chill the fuck out. Like other active niggas in the NBA was in his comments like, hey, this ain't good. Look. Like
niggas like Derrick Rose.
Chill, bloody.
Gangster Disciple. Like there's a lot of niggas in the NBA that are gang members. They just aren't stupid. They grew up somewhere where they became gang members.
Probably.
And they're like,
it's what you did. It's survival. Most of the niggas probably put in the work because niggas saw, no, you got a talent. You can get out and put on for the set. So we're going to keep you out of certain, a lot
hell,
of guys
John
like
Wall. My favorite thing John Wall used to do is when he score and stack. Like he would score and just start stacking.
That nigga John Wall.
Nice play. All the gang sides start throwing up.
John Wall was wild.
But time. Like,
you know what John Wall
went doing? Like
getting on social media and waving guns around though. And the league wasn't too fond of like the stacking because at a certain point that's calmed down. With time and maturity, it calmed down.
I don't think the league particularly gives a shit about you stacking the court because I don't think most of them know.
Yeah, most of them don't know. But if advertisers pick up on something, then you know whatever.
But even then, I don't think because like for example with John Wall, when he would do it, they would show it on like you know how the camera is like you score and they would show him doing it. Like they don't. I don't. It's not that the league doesn't care, but they're like this is not hurting anyone at this point. DeMar DeRozan sometimes when he scores would throw up blood. It's not hurting anyone
by waving his gun around with
advertisers. Advertisers, you're hurting advertisers. Because if you haven't noticed, guys, his Nike shoe commercial that they presented during the Lakers series is gone. They don't show it anymore. I don't think you can buy a shoe currently anymore. And like he's going to lose
a bag. Oh no! I mean, talking about burning a bag, and for the people that like want to make this or go down that like race aspect of it, yes, his punishment is a direct result of the white supremacist power structure in which all of these different systems coalesce. Yes, you're right. His race is a factor in this, but it ain't the chief factor. Now, that being said,
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, you don't think it's you think it is the chief factor that because he's a black player?
No, I just don't think it's an important one. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said it's not the chief factor. I said it's not the chief. It's not the chief factor. And the issue is you can be black and exist within that same white supremacist power structure and all of that, and also still be a dumbass and do something wrong or wrong-headed or backwards that costs you something. Like the reality of our I'm not going to get all word salad with that shit again, but the reality of him being a black man in America does not preclude that he is a black man who lives in America under the system of America that made a individually stupid choice. His blackness don't negate the dumbness of the situation.
Yeah, like there's no reason for you to be out here brandishing guns. And I'm also not going to blame his friend in that situation. His friend ain't know he was about to swing that gun around. And as soon as he saw it, he put the camera down. He is stupid. He's the bad influence. He's the dumb one. He just happened to be the one with all the money.
You got, that's what I'm about to say. You got people around you that can't check you. And right now you're
because someone said like his wife and his dad checking him. I have a sneaking suspicion that the dynamics changed when Ja became Ja, and it's kind of hard when your son is funding the entire family to check him in that way, because he don't got to listen to you at that point. He a grown man, and he's a multi-millionaire who is paying for everything. It is. I understand how that dynamic would be difficult.
That respect was established early, right? I can only speak to me and my dynamic with my dad. I don't know about you and your dad. Well, I mean, I've seen y'all interact, and even though like you're a grown man with a family, I assume that like if he pulled you to the side on something like, hey, you know, we gotta have a talk like this. I don't reckon like I'm not seeing this decision or these actions end well for you. You have that still level of respect for, and I can't. And I don't know these people personally, so I don't even want to kind of get into that aspect of it because, like you said, I'll leave it at what you said because I think that's the biggest point of that conversation. We you know, I don't know what their interpersonal dynamics are. Anyone that says they do that doesn't which is most people that like are having that conversation in the media are dumbasses and liars, and they're basically getting hot takes off to get engagement. So I'll leave that at that. But like the whole fact of when somebody is the cash cow, for lack of a better term, amongst his homeboys, he's the one paying for the VIP, getting everybody, putting niggas on flights, doing all of that. They're kind of not in a position. Everyone has this like idea of themselves being more noble than they really are. Like a lot of niggas be like, if that was my homeboy, I'd be like, man, bro, you fucking up, bro. You got it, man. You say that now when you're not like getting out of whatever situation you were in. And, you know, this person has made your life tenfold better off of their, you know, blood, sweat, and talent. It's real easy to say what you would say and do to niggas when you ain't got no actual skin in the reality of that situation is what I'm saying. So, like you said, quit blaming the friends because this is, at the end of the day, he's the young man who's making these decisions. He's like you say, grown-ass man. He makes his own decisions.
Yeah. So now he got to deal with the consequences.
So like that dumbass anti-black ass tweet that I saw it too on Twitter.
Also, that stupid shit where you're like, cut his hair,
thug friends, cut no dreads, just
like
no rap,
okay,
no lives
that's
of rap
anti-black.
Music, just
that's anti-black.
All
that's
basketball.
Stupid and anti-black.
Pronounce your ERs and your INGs, boy.
Yeah, that's stupid and anti-black. Like he doesn't need to cut his hair. He doesn't need to stop listening to rap music. He needs to stop waving guns around. That's it. That's the singular thing, particularly in this instance, is what he needs to stop doing. Stop waving guns around.
But Ben, what about the other players that show off their gun collections on their social media?
Yeah, but those are at their house. If he was like shooting a gun at a gun range or at his house, nobody would have anything to say.
And there it is.
So
I think that about covers all the angles on that discussion. All right. Yeah. So this weekend we had a big fight. Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. I got some opinions on the decision. Ben disagrees. Let's hash it out. So Haney ultimately won the fight by unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Yep. They went bell to bell with the distance. I feel that Lomachenko did win that fight, even if it's, like I said, off camera. I think the decision could have went either way. I would have been fine with the decision going either way. For me, that unanimous decision just seems, I know it's like a minor quibble, but it's wild to me that it was a unanimous decision. Like, split decision makes more sense. And the judge that did 116, 112 for Haney is smoking dick. Like, Haney's a great fighter. Lomachenko's a great fighter. But I don't know if it was you or Bobby that said the rest of those guys, you know, in my opinion, the glamour division, they take that man out.
Yeah. I thought Lomachenko did enough to win. I don't think it was a robbery, especially just because I thought Lomachenko won. It was a close fight, but I thought Lomachenko won. 116 to 112 is insane, but yeah. I mean, I thought it was a close fight, but I thought that Lomachenko won at least 7 rounds. I didn't score it round by round, but I thought he probably won at least 7 rounds. I was the one who said that this shows me that Haney probably, I think he definitely loses to Gervonta if they were to fight.
Oh yeah,
I think
power, because Lomachenko got a lot of clean shots in. That if Tank got those shots in, you going to Bootyville. Say hello to the upper room.
Shakur also beats him, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty, not, I won't say soundly, but I think he beats him. I think, yeah, I mean, there's nobody else in the division that I think really beats him.
He already beat he just beat Lomachenko, and that was the other guy put in that conversation with all of them. So
yeah, and I thought Lomachenko beat him.
Division.
So
yeah, right, like that's a crazy ass division too, man.
Yeah, so we'll see what going forward he does. He probably should move his big ass up. That can't be healthy to cut that much weight.
How much weight does he cut down to?
I don't know how much weight he cuts down from. I do know that he said something along the lines of he's like walks around at like 170.
Yeah, something like that.
And fights at 135.
No, 150. Because that's from that clip with the bodybuilding dude on the podcast.
He was not telling the truth. He was not telling the truth. Because like I saw that whole interview, and he purposely was not saying how much he weighed.
How much is? Oh, okay.
I'm guessing. Yeah, he didn't say 150 until pressed on it a bunch. I don't think he was around 150. I would guess 160 plus.
160, 170. That seems about right. Because when you see him, like, when he's not, in training camp or just like, doing commentary, doing other fights, he don't look 150.
No,
looks big.
He's a big dude. I think he should probably move up. I don't think he will. I think he's going to try to get the Shakur fight. We'll see. I think he's a promotional free agent right now. So maybe the Gervonta fight, maybe the Shakur fight, but either one of those fights, I think he probably ends up losing. But yeah, I mean, it was a good fight. Just I thought the wrong man won.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight. Wall to wall action. Both guys, like I said, it was a razor's edge decision for me. That's why the unanimous just sticks to. It's a me thing. It sticks to my craw. Like, I don't like it, but yeah. All right. So that was sportsbasketballs. Some of those sports didn't involve balls at all. All right.
Yeah.
Nerd shit. Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I don't want to spoil anything.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I am going to see it.
I'll keep.
I'm also going to see the new Fast and the Furious movie at some point.
Okay. Wait. Bruh. Let me know when they have the crossover with Transformers finally. Then I'll be back in theaters for that.
Nah, man. I'm here for the spectacle. Fast and Furious is true cinema for our time. Is it ignorant, ridiculous nonsense? Yes.
Are you going to eat Chinese food? All right.
But yeah, I'm gonna see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 at some point. We talked about a Dune trailer in the last episode. There is a new movie with John David Washington, the creator. I'm looking forward to. You also have your mic muted, Jonesy. Your mic is muted. Yeah, it wasn't muted when you were calling your son. You muted it after the fact.
Okay. Damn. What? Yo, the thing turned red in front of me. My bad, Joe. My bad. It's a new setup.
It's fine.
So I mute.
I was like, I feel like he meant to mute, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I was saying something about Guardians, and you like kept going. I'm like, okay, my nigga, my bad. But yeah, I really enjoy Guardians. It's I'm not gonna do that thing where this thing is the best ever, but to me, it was probably the most emotionally resonant Marvel movie of and within itself. Like Black Panther, the intro to Wakanda Forever is deeply emotional, especially for our community. But that's because of the tragedy of Chadwick Boseman's real life death. And I'm not knocking that, by the way. I'm saying like this movie itself hit those emotional points without having to rely on or just purely based on its own writing and acting. I'll put it that way. Because I'm not trying to, I hope I'm not coming across as disparaging Wakanda Forever or anything, because I'm definitely not doing that. I love that movie. I will say with this one, and we've had this conversation on the podcast before and privately, people saying there's no, where's the connective tissue in this phase, this is phase 4, or this is phase 5, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the beginning of phase 5, but people are saying this phase and the prior phase, there's just no connective. It doesn't feel like the MCU because everything's just like in its own, which is what I liked about it. But I do think that's false to say that there was no connective tissue. The entirety, more or less, of the last MCU slate, phase 4, essentially, to some degree, in each of those projects, there was especially the films, though. I'll just keep it to the films. But there was a underlying theme of loss, grief, and regret. And this movie, Guardians 3, does a great job of hitting all of those things with the gravitas that they deserve, but also still putting in those moments of levity. There's like a lot of beautiful character payoffs for these characters. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Dave Bautista. He acts his ass off in this. Even while still being Drax, but there's these little touches he has his performances go around that just. And I'm glad they got Chris Pratt gets to do. This is the most he's acted like pre-Bendis comics version of Star-Lord. And I prefer that version, or like the Al Ewing version, even the Donny Cates version. I've never been a fan of like the Will Ferrell style man-child. He wasn't
the space cop?
Nova's a space cop. He wasn't like
Star-Lord is sort of a space cop.
Star-Lord was not a space cop, like at least not when Dan Abnett and Dan Jurgens and like you've read Annihilation, right? Or you familiar with like Annihilation, yeah. Annihilation, right? Like that guy was like more like military guy. He was a Star Wars character basically. He was Han Solo, except he was in charge of the rebellion to a degree. So like I like that version of Star-Lord. I get like efficient military space leader guys, kind of a generic character. But so is Will Ferrell-esque idiot man-child, which Chris Pratt is good at playing. I'm fine.
I wouldn't go so far to say that's what he was.
I'm fine with it in the MCU. But like in my comics, anyway, I'm about to go down the rabbit hole. We're not going to get in the weeds because we get real nerdy about all of that. The point is, I like the elements they folded back in from the comics into his portrayal of his character in this film. So, yeah, like if you haven't seen Guardians 3, go see it. Bring some tissues. It's also going to be like there's lots of great action. Rocket is really the star of this movie, and that's going to be. I'm not going to spoil anything, but Rocket is pretty much the star of this movie, and I love what they do with Rocket on this. And I'll say this: I did not think they could come up with a darker origin for Rocket than the one that's actually in the comics, but They take the elements of that and then they amplify that tenfold. And shit, man. Woo. The cathartic payoff you get for Rocky and a lot of other characters too. It's just, I love this movie. Love this movie. 10 out of 10, no notes. Really good time. If you're down on the MCU, if you want less jokes and more stakes or just more cinema, this one gives you that, and you still get fun too. So it's quite a roller coaster ride. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, the John David Washington trailer, creator. I am really looking forward to that. I like John David Washington. Some people are on this weird Nepo baby. He doesn't show the same range as a Jonathan Majors yet. However, dude can act. Like, let's not act like
he doesn't. Well,
you see that comment to myself, huh? No, go. Oh, this nigga, sir, you will not talk. We are not talking about Kang the Conqueror in that capacity on this show. We shall not do that.
Hey, that nigga is named Jonathan Majors until it is proven that he ain't out here choking white women.
We almost made it a full episode without me having to drop an allegedly.
I didn't say he did it. I said it needs to be proven that he didn't do it.
Okay.
I ain't say the man is guilty of anything.
I'm just going to drop those allegedly just in case. So allegedly. The crimes that he's
allegedly out here choking. He was allegedly out here choking white women. Hey, if they're going to replace him, John David Washington, use him.
I could. Interesting. You know what? Funnily enough, to circle back to Guardians, I'm not going to try to butcher this brother's name, but the dude who plays the High Evolutionary, as well as he was the leader of the Black Ops team in Peacemaker. People were like, "Oh, he could just have been a different version of Kang that just went by a different name," which actually is hilarious and would tie in because
it could be
a guy like me because in the comics, Kang the reason there's so many Kangs is because at some point niggas just started going like, you know what? Yeah, that red Centurion guy. Yeah, that was also Kang. That was Kang under a different name. And Ramatut, that was also totally Kang. He just went further back in time. Yeah. So you could be like, well, your universe's version of Kang was the High Evolutionary. I mean, they could.
It's entirely possible.
Honestly, I mean, if he wants to muscle up to look, he doesn't have to muscle up to look like a Kang, really. So he could just be a Kang that put all his stats into intelligence,
big brains,
yeah, versus big biceps. All right, creative trailer looks dope. It looks like trodden territory. It's AI versus humanity. We've seen that,
yeah, robots
ever since Terminator, even before then. But this cast looks really good.
As we are spiraling closer and closer to Skynet in real life.
Hey man, you leave Skynet Drake alone, he's gonna make some hot hits for us. I'm telling you. Skynet Drake is about to drop the hottest mixtape.
But it looks dope.
2035. Yeah, creative looks dope. I'll keep an eye on that. There's a couple of new shows that have dropped that I'm messing with right now. From season 2, or From is on season 2 right now. I know Taylor watches that show as well, and a couple of other homies. This is either going to make you want to give it a chance or not, but if you enjoyed Lost, and I'll say like Lost, Stranger Things, stuff like that, where there's like a central mystery, more so for Lost, or like, you ever seen that sci-fi series that Lindelof did on HBO where it was about like the rapture or whatever, but then people came back?
The Leftovers.
The Leftovers, yeah. It's got a vibe like that. I guess I'll give y'all the elevator.
I was going to say Left Behind.
Yeah, I was going to say those Kirk Cameron movies.
Left Behind is
those books
very different. Younger. I did too. Those were actually, if you take out the very clear religious context, those are actually pretty cool action,
pretty solid
espionage.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Yeah, they were lot, and even the religion stuff in them weren't.
Yeah, it's done from like more of a. Yeah, they're hard to explain if you haven't read. It's kind of,
like they're
experience for yourself.
Yeah, like their religious books But if someone just handed it to you and didn't tell you that,
you'd be like, oh, somebody based
you
this
probably
in like
wouldn't know.
Christian mythology or whatever. Or
yeah. If you look at it like, oh, this is based in the Christian myth of the apocalypse.
Of the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's actually
espionage action
pretty cool.
books. But I mean,
Market
there's also those
stuff.
blatant moments of like, this character's a lesbian.
Jesus.
They got saved and now they're not gay anymore. So now they're a good character.
Yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Yep,
that did happen.
The TV producer that was Kirk Cameron's boss, or his character's boss in the books, Dana Z.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I remember that
did
part.
happen.
I remember that character's name.
There was
Nikolai Carpathian. Or no, Nikolai.
There was like a young adult version of that book.
Yes,
like
Left Behind Kids.
Left Behind.
Yes,
kids. Yeah,
my church got a bookstore built into it, like my sophomore year of high school, sophomore or junior year, and those books were definitely it.
I read all the Left Behind. Well, no, that's not true. I didn't read the last one because by then I was full blown like I ain't trying to fuck with like nothing Christian. So like, I read all of them.
The amazing
to that one
on YouTube.
He's a wild racist now. He used to not be.
Now, or you just didn't notice it because you were down with he didn't have it didn't come.
Well, no, because like I remember he would like debate racism and stuff, and then something changed at some point, and he was just like,
"Oh no,
I too hate the nigger." Like it was just very strange.
He saw his ex-girlfriend on Blacked.
Ooh. Well.
Oh yeah. So elevator pitch for From. There's this town that people are. It's better example. Stephen King's The Langoliers meets Lost. There we go. That. So there's this town that people are getting trapped in. It's like a Mobius strip road. Once you're in, you can't get out. And at night, these creatures come out of the woods that look like humans, but they eat people. But they don't just eat people. They like to play with their food, basically. And they like to make you into pretty, pretty art. So, yeah, not great. But the one thing the town has going for them is they have these talismans that were found that if you put it over you kind of got to like hang it over your doorpost or over somewhere in the house, and they can't enter without your permission. So it's kind of like vampire mythology, right? But basically you see people push their limits. People have been there, some for months, some for years, and they're basically trying to find a way out of town while also finding a way to live with each other with slowly dwindling resources, because it had been a while before anyone new came to town, and then suddenly in the show this new family arrives, and then after them there's like a bus of people that arrive, and everyone's kind of living on the margins of what they got to live off of there. And they're also having to deal, and there's new things popping up, not just the monsters in the woods, but like a bunch of crazy stuff happens. I don't even spoil any of it, but basically you got monsters versus people, and then people versus people. And as usual in these type of stories, perhaps man is the real monster after all. That's been pretty dope. I've been enjoying that series. Shouts out to Harold Perrineau. He's like one of the main characters on the show. He's kind of like the glue guy as far as the cast goes. He's really been doing his thing on it. I'm glad that brother got a show where he's like, one of the major stars of it. There's a new series, a new spies espionage series called The Citadel, which stars, I don't want to get her name wrong, Priyanka Chopra Jonas. That's it. And Richard Madden from Game of Thrones. He played Robb Stark. They have like great chemistry in the show. This has some crazy, like very good, well done fight choreography for a TV show. Like not even for a TV show, for a movie, this stuff would still be good. Apparently,
it's a wildly
this show
expensive show.
Well, I was about to say, apparently it's like the most expensive TV show made to date, and it looks like it. Nothing on this looks cheap. Nothing. Everything. Every episode is like movie quality. Say again.
I'm at least one episode behind. I'm probably watching tonight.
Yeah, I gotta watch the newest episode that dropped this weekend too. There's a new show, Silo, which stars, speaking of Dune, the woman that plays Lady Jessica in Dune. She's one of the main characters of this show called Silo. So the elevator pitch on this one is these people live inside of these constructs, these silos, and they were built hundreds of years ago. No one knows who built it or why. They just know that for generations upon generations, they've lived here, and everyone believes that the world outside has been poisoned. Like they don't know whether it's from nuclear war or what, but they just know you go outside, you die. But there's one cardinal rule in this society. You never say you want to go outside. If so, they give you a suit. You must exit at that point, and they send you out to clean to show you that there is nothing out there for you. This is all we have. So, as you can probably guess, with that kind of like societal setup, it's very damn near fascist. Not full on, because they have elections. Like there's free elections. There's, you get to vote for a mayor of the silo and things like that. There's no like ruling class per se. But if you took like our world's late stage capitalism and then you forced everyone to live literally level on top of each other, it's been very interesting so far. The first episode it really sold me on the premise, and you see you kind of can start putting some things together from the first episode, but then you start to see a lot of layers and different aspects to it. I was so interested by the first episode that normally I don't give myself spoilers, but I like looking into the books, and I was like, oh, that's what that is. So if they follow the path that the books laid, it's going to be, they can at least get like a solid 5 years out of this show. And it looks really good, very well acted, very well casted, fun kind of sci-fi series. I think that's the last one I had for the notes. Oh, Class of '09, I haven't seen it yet. All I know is Brian Tyree Henry's in it. That brother be acting his ass off. And the premise looks really dope. That's also like espionage based. So yeah, that's any shows or anything that you've had your eye on that you've been checking out?
I've been watching Citadel. Like I said, I'm an episode behind, or maybe 2 episodes. Yeah, I think I watched the first 2 episodes. I think I'm 2 episodes behind. Came out?
Unicorn Warriors Eternal came out recently. Came out either in the past month or last month. The new animated series by Gennady Tartakovsky. Guy behind Powerpuff Girls, the Brutal.
Yeah. I heard about that.
It's been a really fun watch. It's very well animated. It's got that classic Gennady Tartakovsky art style. It's been very well animated. It's a nice little fantasy action series. It's set in a steampunk London. So it's like I'll
probably watch that tonight.
Show.
I needed something to watch tonight anyway. So I'll probably watch that.
I fucks with that one too. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I ain't even gonna get into the anime too heavy because we got a couple more things to cover in nerd stuff. So yeah. Speaking of anime,
the new
Jujutsu Kaisen trailer.
Yep.
Ready for that.
Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. We're getting. I am assuming we will. We're getting the Shibuya arc after what we're getting with the flashback stuff. Because the beginning of the season is a flashback of Gojo and Satori. Yeah, he's going to fight Fushigi's dad, but he also is going to explain Gojo and Satori's relationship. So it should be cool. Also, y'all get to see that Gojo is a complete psychopath.
I think he's more of a sociopath than psychopath.
He is a sociopath. He is 100% a sociopath. He is 100% a sociopath. Like the writer of the book is like, no, Gojo is a sociopath.
Yeah, like he meant he
doesn't.
We talked about this before, but like he absolutely meant like. Well, I mean, I guess if you guys didn't let me keep this student for my experiment, I would have just murdered you all and done it anyway.
Yes.
Some of them were like, oh, Gojo. Now listen, just because you're good doesn't mean we're going to let you keep joshing around like that. He's like, no, seriously, you would have just been an obstacle, and I would have just had to eliminate you. It's the most logical course of action.
He's they'll explain they'll explain what Gojo is, why Gojo is the way Gojo is, in this season. Also, why Gojo could have very easily been Satori. He just isn't. Basically, like there's no real reason he's not a villain. Like you'll see, like he just decided not to be. That's literally it. Like there's no actual motivation for him not to be a bad guy. He just was like, I prefer not to be.
I didn't feel like it this day. Basically,
yeah.
The Mortal Kombat 1 trailer dropped. I'm amped for that. Yep. Next month, does it come out next month or July? Wait, it's next month, isn't it?
September.
Okay, okay.
No, September. Yeah, it comes out September. Next month we're getting like as far as games next month. Diablo 4, Diablo 4, Tekken might be next month.
I think it is.
Tekken I think is next month.
Yeah, Tekken.
No, Street Fighter is July.
Okay, July.
Street Fighter is July.
These next couple months.
Tekken might be next month. And Final Fantasy 16 is next month.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy drops. I might probably gonna be grabbing that one.
Well, I mean, it's not on your system, sir.
Ha 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 ha. I can buy a new
system. No, not even just that it's the Xbox. Like it's next gen. Like they didn't even do past gen.
Try for PS4. Yeah, I mean honestly, I think
they were like,
that's the reason I'm about to upgrade now.
We'll blow your fucking system up.
Yeah, we're hitting that wall where like that's probably I'm going to upgrade to. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm probably going to go PlayStation because Sony is getting all the exclusive stuff. So I'm probably going to end up getting the PS5 because outside of exclusive games and like who, what your friends play, there's no reason for me to stay on Xbox anymore because hardware wise, they're pretty much identical spec wise to systems. Systems wise, they're pretty much spec. The specs are neck and neck. So most of my homies have a PlayStation, and Sony has more exclusive titles that I'm actively interested in playing. So I probably am going to upgrade to that. Speaking of new games that are coming out, we finally got a release date for AEW Fight Forever, the game that you people said was never coming out, the game that people said didn't really exist and was going to tank the company because they put $100 million into it, and they were never going to release it. Amongst other silly AEW discourse.
Yeah. The game comes out June.
When it not?
June
29th.
Yeah, June 29th. Also, The Flash comes out next month, which I'm not going to theater to see that.
I'll see it on the app. There's not enough Batman nostalgia to get me to sit in the theater for a DC movie from that era of DC. And I like some of those movies.
It looks
like Shazam. I'll see Shazam 2 with my son on the app.
Yeah. If I'm gonna watch Flash, it's gonna be on the app. I will not be going to a theater to watch that. I can't support Ezra Miller at all.
They were out here wilding. They were a whole terrorist. Literally leaving Batman villain style like Instagram notes for the police.
Yeah.
They were in the space between spaces where time bends or whatever the hell that motherfucker said.
Yeah, it was. He might have groomed a kid. It's a lot.
Babies
it was a lot.
Biting bullets in the crib with this motherfucker.
It was a lot.
Building a little cult.
It was a lot going on.
Getting their Jared Leto on.
Yeah, has a cult?
At least Jared Leto gave us some pretty cool songs for 30 Seconds from Mars. Ezra Miller just gave us like a reason to lock our doors at night.
Wait, Jared Leto was in 30 Seconds from Mars?
That's his band, isn't it? Yeah. 30 Seconds from Mars
shit.
or whatever. Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, Stacy.
Listen, man.
What's the name of Jared Leto's band? Stacy.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, okay. I guess that was Seth in the kitchen, not her.
I was unaware.
Yep, he's the lead singer.
Okay.
Also explains why these niggas have like 18-minute music videos because of course they do. Jared Leto.
This is the whitest goddamn picture. Yes. All right, that's enough of that. That was. Right, so, I just came across the whitest picture I've ever seen. Yep. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to Fight Forever. I'm looking forward to playing it. I liked No Mercy.
Right.
You
know more about the process of developing a game than I do. So you talk to the people about that, or you could just talk about the takes and why some things were very silly. Just the general discourse around this game and why it was off base.
Yeah.
I got to step away real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So they announced this game, I think the beginning of 2020, or announced they were making it. It's very weird, the people who were like, oh, it should come out in 2019 or like it takes a while to build a game, guys. And if they did what I think they did, which is take a very old engine for the No Mercy game and basically take some of the bones of it and remake it for current systems, then yeah, that's going to take about 3 to 4 years. It is not the company started in 2019. It's 2023. It's not crazy that it took them a couple years to get the game situated. So, excuse me. Excuse me. I am very much looking forward to it. If I want a sim game, I can always play 2K. But I want to see what this arcadey ass wrestling game looks like, because it looks fun. Saw the list of achievements, so I have a pretty good idea of what you're gonna be doing in the game. So yeah, like I said, it looks fun as hell to me. I think people had weird expectations for when the game should come out. Plus, there's like just anti-AEW sentiment in general. Moving on just a bit. More AEW stuff. We got AEW Collision announced. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the Saturday AEW show. I thought for the longest they needed to go ahead and create another 2-hour show because they have so many wrestlers and so many talented people who need the opportunity to shine that you probably can't get all the time on Dynamite, because Dynamite, just having like essentially 3 hours of TV, right? Where it was Dynamite, 2 hours of Dynamite, 1 hour Rampage. With the amount of wrestlers they had, you had guys that might have been in a storyline. You kind of had to keep them off TV because you needed to build another storyline. Now with Collision, you have more of an opportunity to build up all of that. So yeah.
But
I think Collision is a really good thing. I think anyone who's acting like it's not a good thing is being silly.
you transitioned to Collision. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And
my only piece I got to say on Fight Forever is I'm very excited to play it. I'm going to hold off on getting it until I get a next gen system. I don't want to play it on my my Xbox. It's not because the Xbox One is a bad system or things actively look bad or whatever. It's just, if I'm going to go ahead and upgrade to a new system, I want everything I'm going to be playing on that system. And I'm sure Ben already addressed the technical things of why certain people's reads on the game development and the chaos around it or whatever is absolute bull. So I'm not going to belabor that point, but I think Collision is a great thing. You need that roster is so big. We grew up with WCW, had a huge roster as well. WCW also had 3 hours of Nitro, 2 hours of Thunder, Saturday night, Worldwide, and another show. I forgot what the other one was. But
Heat?
Nope. Heat was WWE.
Heat, right?
WWF was Sunday night. Global, WCW.
What was the other?
No, Worldwide.
It might have been like Global or some shit.
Yeah, they had like 5 shows running. So they had a lot of time to fill in a lot of guys. And you could argue that, AEW has Honor Club, or I don't even know what they're calling it formally, but Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor is
Club,
separate.
I just call it Ring of Honor. Yeah, but it is separate, but it ain't. Like, if you're keeping it real.
It is, but it is I won't say
it's owned by Khan and his investment group. And a lot of AEW.
It's not AEW.
It's not AEW, but guys can go over there and work and get TV time. Basically, if you got somebody on contract, you're not wasting contract money on them. You can go have them do things in Ring of Honor. They had Elevation and Dark, which looks like the rumor is true. They're going to be 86 in that because Warner Brothers, which is good for them, exclusively want their content on their programming. Yeah. So, this is a good move. Like, for me, and I know we're like an AEW Shield podcast. We're okay with that, by the way. Tony Khan, holler at us. Stokely, looks like you're going to be moving into a big office soon. We would love.
I have
to.
no idea what Stokely is doing.
I would love to review Collision, my brother. I will gladly give every episode 5 stars. I'm proud. I'll gladly get paid.
If they want us
shit.
to be Will Washington's assistants, I'll gladly do that.
I'm really good at getting coffee. All right. I can do that. But anyway, on a serious note, though, more programming on a major network is good. The people that were like, well, so another thing, so there's multi-layers to what I want to say here, Ben. Where should I start? First off, if you had told either of us in 2018 that there was going to be another original US-based promotion that's going to be on national TV and employ wrestlers at this level, I wouldn't have believed you. And that's even with me being like, us have, we used to watch NXT together all the time in New Japan. So like, even if Vince was like, or let's say Triple H just rolled off, was like, man, you know what? I don't think NXT would have done. I don't think NXT would have done well on cable. And I'm not even going to use the numbers that they did running head to head against Dynamite against them. I just don't think that product is geared towards, or at least the WWE fans that are main roster people, because we're seeing it play out now. Once Triple H took over and started changing things around a bit, how some acts that got called up with Triple H, being at the head of creative, having an actual plan, having built them up prior. Perfect example, Johnny Gargano. Because Johnny wasn't coming in when Vince was before Vince got sent the time out for being nasty nigga number 1. But
what is Johnny Gargano doing now?
I'm about to say, like, Triple H's favorite son, Triple H and HBK's boy, their guy, because he was their guy.
Adam Cole was more their guy.
Adam Cole, and I don't know, man, because like Johnny got to do a lot of the stuff that is, I guess, WWE top guy stuff down there. He had the heel stable. He got to do comedy stuff. He got to be a triple crown.
Adam Cole got to do all that shit too.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Adam Cole did all that shit.
They're like equal. Okay, he's one of the guys. Clearly, the guys that the guys that were Triple H's guys. Like Swerve said, you could tell Gargano was Triple H's guy. No, you could tell he was Sean's guy. You could tell Cole. Keith Lee, his guy. Cross, a definite project for them that they were. And people overhate carrying Cross. But anyway, I got in the wrestling rabbit hole there. But the point is, something like an AEW existing is a minor miracle. Like, I'm not going to take it for granted. There's things they do I like, there's things they do I don't like, and I'm going to talk about both of them equally. But the fact that it exists, the idea of someone saying, I'm a fan of professional wrestling, cool. I hate AEW. I want it to die. It's not going to last more than 2 years. It's going to every benchmark that fans have thrown at them, they've either met, if not wildly left over and surpassed. Like, nope. People are acting as if Warner Brothers Discovery said, you better draw 1 million eyes a week and be whatever in the cable rankings every week. They didn't say that. That's something that.
Here's my thing with the Warner
people
Discovery thing.
Yeah. Well, they're an actual TV network.
Warner Brothers Discovery has told you at every turn, we fucking love them. Yes. Like, from the word go, every time they talk about AEW, it's like, yo, we are happy with this. We want more of this. Hence Collision.
They made it a point to put them on the upfronts their first year there. And they've been at the upfronts every year since.
I think people, what people don't understand is that, a million plus viewers every week would be great. But 800,000, that's 800,000 more than we had. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is cheap content. This is content that makes its own money. We don't have to write this. It provides its own camera crew.
Yes. That's the actual business of wrestling that these fans who always want to talk about the business don't take into account. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like me and Ben or Taylor, whoever guests with us and talks about this stuff with us, like, we've never worked for a TV or a media conglomerate. But what we do have a basic understanding of, thanks to my nice and fancy college degree, is that businesses, at the end of the day, want to produce a product for as cheaply as they can and get the biggest amount of return back on it. Scripted TV, reality TV, and I knew AEW was safe the moment that the merger went through. People were like, "Oh, it's over now. It's over now." I'm like, do you know who the dude who's over at Discovery is? The dude that shifted him from educational content to reality TV because it's cheap to produce. It hooks a lot of people in. It's easy to watch. There's no Game of Thrones narrative to My 600-Pound Life or whatever they got on TLC now. Remember when it was the Learning Channel? I do.
Oh yeah, TLC. That's what TLC stands for. The Learning Channel. That is literally what it stands for.
I think they changed it like the Lifestyle Channel or something now, but I don't know.
I think it still technically stands for the Learning Channel. You just will never hear
That's
them.
a wild. They might as well turn that shit into T-Boss Left Eye and Chili because that means even at least.
But yeah, like
in the Learning Channel. But anyway, yeah, go ahead, fam.
I'm very excited to see the show. We didn't see him Punk back.
Like Nitro. Sir, you don't know if Punk's coming back, sir. They're going to Daly's place. Punk is angry because they won't let his friend come to play. So Punk's not going to be
okay.
there.
So I guess we can discuss that stuff.
I mean, we don't have to at all. We could just make that obsequious reference I did and move on. We could do that.
Listen,
we don't have to be a part
Punk
of it.
said it, and I believe in this wholeheartedly.
Yes. Let's talk about
You
that.
don't know these people. Touch grass. Relax. Making like snap. Oh my God. Punk is holding AEW hostage. Oh, AEW is holding Punk hostage. Oh, Punk and the Elite are having a blood feud. I don't generally, first off, I don't care.
That's not on my
First
TV.
off. Secondly, Punk is going to be there June 17th.
Well,
Legally,
he's got a wedding anniversary.
it would be, if you a wedding anniversary, smile, wink from him.
That nigga Punk be, you know what? I agree with Phil. I don't know if you watch Gravity, but I agree with Phil. I like Punk just be doing his thing. But it makes certain people angry because they're like, well, you did this, you made a couple. No, you don't get to be out here making jokes and living your life. Like how he was doing the MMA commentary, it was like getting his jokes about, like to him, it was like, yes, this thing happened. It was a day that happened. Brawl out happened. He's like, yep, you don't want me in the locker room. And people were like, look at him. He's so smug. He doesn't even feel sorry about what he did. I'm like, that nigga don't owe me. There have been like real, actual bad. Arn Anderson got stabbed.
I am not owed contrition from him.
I'm not.
I am not owed anything. The people that are owed that, maybe they got it, maybe they didn't. But you, random person, not owed it.
Yeah, the nebulous concept of owing the fans an apology, I completely agree with and understand. I understand that concept being like because those are the people that are investing in your product. Like you said, me individually, I wouldn't feel slighted if there was no public act of contrition, but I do feel like there should be one. I feel like that's.
I don't care if there's one or not. They can never bring it up again.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I would actually prefer that.
I would actually prefer that.
I would actually prefer if they never. I would prefer if they never reference it ever again.
I don't
need
a reference on
but I would prefer they didn't.
I don't need a reference on the product, but if Punk were to come out and like, it could be a tweet, it could be an Instagram post, it could be in a scrum, it could be in another scrum. But I don't need it. I don't want it focused on TV at all. But I do think there needs to be like he said out of his own mouth. The disrespect needs to, because you disrespected the fan base, the company, the owner. You put a black eye on the image of the company when it was at its hottest. Things were going, like, from that moment, things did cool off a bit. And now, when I say cool off, I don't mean like the show was dying and hemorrhaging like freaking. I'm not a British weirdo talking wrestling on YouTube, so I don't need to say ridiculous things for engagement. But just my principles as a man. You mess up like that. You make your actions of contrition need to be on the same scale as your mess up, if possible. And in this case, they are, because there will be another scrum. So, but anyway, like you said, I don't want an angle made out of it. I don't want to. I know we're leaving money on the table, but like, nigga, as a fan, why do you care about that? last I checked, while we are paid AEW shields, we're not actually being paid. So
I just don't care that much, man. Would it be cool if him and the Elite
I just like to watch my
feuded?
wrestling.
That'd be cool. But also, if they do this, if the rumored Samoa Joe versus Punk feud is what's happening, I am very much here for that. Like, they don't have to interact. Like, I just don't care that much.
Yeah. I just want to watch wrestling.
I think Collision is a really good thing. You're getting Andrade back. Yeah. He is done.
The roster needs it. There's not enough TV time.
He is done hanging out with his ostrich wife.
Sir, I'm not going to disrespect that.
Miro's back.
Come on. The Redeemer has returned. Praise be his name. May he break many a back and humble many a hoe.
We'll see. Like, apparently Hobbs is going to be a really big deal in the show, which is cool. Ricky apparently is also, which is cool. You needed a brand split. You needed to move some people over.
Let people maximize
in order to. Yeah, because now you can move all the cool shit Swerve's been doing on Rampage. You can put that on Dynamite now, or you can put it on Collision.
Yep.
Like you can.
I wonder how Rampage is going to.
Rampage is going to become Saturday Night Heat, basically.
No. But you know what's funny? Yeah. Tony Khan said out the gate that was the goal for. I think what got people sort of confused with that, right? Because we went to one of the first Rampages. Yeah, when we went to Dynamite and they taped the Rampage.
Yeah,
and they taped more Rampage when we went to Battle of the Belts. So we went to some before Punk got there. We went to the first battle. We went to the Dynamite in Charlotte and Battle of the Belts in Charlotte, and they taped Rampage material for both of those. And so those were like early episodes before the first dance. I think what in people's minds happened was this. CM Punk debuted on this show. This must be a super important second. This must be like their next. This must be their SmackDown now because it's their second show. And Punk was here and they drew over 1 million on that episode at 10 o'clock on a Friday. Clearly. So here's your first clue. The show comes on 10 o'clock on a Friday. Rampage has been and probably will continue to be a show to fit in the things that you couldn't fit on Dynamite because initially, when Rampage is at its best, right, it builds on the previous things that happened on Dynamite to set up things for the next Dynamite. I think the problem with Rampage the last couple of months has been that wasn't happening as often. So usually, like, I know when we were going to them, Rampage would be like, okay, something happens on Dynamite. These guys have a pull-apart brawl, yada, yada. I'll see your ass on Friday, da, 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 da. Okay, they tape for Rampage. What happens on that Rampage match leads into something else on Wednesday. Maybe it might be a match. Maybe it might be another angle to extend that feud. But whatever. Now, like I said, the past couple of months was more like kind of its own separate show where, like you said, where things Swerve was doing on Rampage, which has all been dope stuff, by the way. Him and Keith Lee and a couple other people, like when House of Black was on Rampage for their run of time. It's like, okay, that's cool over there, but like there's no reference to it on Dynamite. I think if they can roll that back into each other, that'd be cool. I don't think that Collision should just be standalone out there by itself either. All these shows are in the same company. So have the stuff connect, unless they're doing like a hard, like straight up hard brand split. In that case, yes, do that.
I think both shows have not confirmed
as a connecting point. Right, exactly. They haven't confirmed.
Yeah, they have not confirmed they're doing a hard brand split or whatever. It would, to an extent, make sense because you're telling some people, hey, you got to be here Wednesday. Other people, you got to be here Saturday. So it makes sense, but it's still, I don't know how hard it will be to be like, okay, well, this week I'm gonna be on Saturday, and 2 weeks I'm gonna be here Wednesday. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be as hard as what SmackDown and Raw
hell no.
occasionally do.
I would say, hey man, ideally use Rampage as a bridge show between the two. Especially if you're gonna do something where it's like, well, this is gonna get picked back up tomorrow night on Collision. Right. Oh yeah. Another thing I think I would like to see Rampage go back to doing is the next guy up on Dynamite used to be the kind of headliner on. So like when Punk debuted, right, it was Punk's show. When Danielson came through, it became Danielson's show. When they started gearing up Orange Cassidy before he got the international championship, he was on there a lot. He's still on there a lot. But like, yo,
Yeah.
like use Rampage to like kind of build, because you don't have Dark anymore to build. Well, I guess the records still exist, but they're not like letting them dictate booking anymore. I would like that to return. That's one of my complaints with AEW. That's one of the things that made it more unique, because you couldn't just pull a title match out of nowhere. They kind of held themselves accountable.
People complained about the rankings, so they got rid of the rankings.
I say fuck that. Well, with people complaining, they were kind of the biggest situation I remember being with the ranking complaints was FTR have been number one contenders for X amount of months, and they have not challenged for the tag titles. Now we know
that was 100% a storyline.
It was, but also like, since we're all behind the scenes niggas, like our hardcore wrestling nerd guys, you don't want to kill a hot babyface act that got over organically by having them either beat or lose to another hot babyface act that is over organically. So no, you have a transitional title reign by the Ass Boys, which I know you were not a fan of.
Which had an epic that I'm not. I am a fan of that interest before they lost them.
Man. That was great, man. Them boys cooked.
That was great. Yeah.
But yeah, Collision should be dope.
More AEW talk.
Yes.
Yep.
Double or nothing.
Double or
nothing.
nothing
Right here so far.
Sunday?
We got another week. They might add another match.
No, it's Sunday, ain't it?
Yeah, it's Sunday. Oh no, you're right. What I meant, we got another episode. My bad. We got 2 more episodes of TV.
Yeah.
Before that. Well, 3 if they bring in some Ring of Honor stuff. They might or might not. They're probably going to save the Ring of Honor stuff for either a big taping or the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which I forgot what their pay-per-view cycle is, because I'll be honest, I don't know about you, but I kind of stopped watching in 2020 when they were doing like the very delayed dropping of shows. So, okay.
Yeah. I
got the card here. I can. It looks like there's 9 matches announced. I don't know if this list was made before or after the TBS title match. Okay, nope, the TBS title match is on here. All right, so we got Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Brother Zay versus Ethan Page and the Guns. If the Hardy Party wins, Matt Hardy gets to control Ethan Page's contract. Matt Hardy needs contracts. But you know what? I mean, there's continuity in storytelling. Matt's always fucking with contracts. I think they're writing out. Well, you watched Dynamite, right, this week? I think they're writing Zay out on that because, they Pillmanized his neck. So I could see him being out of the match and it just being a Hardy's match and the Guns not necessarily being in that. I think this week the Guns get written out of that. And this is just my fan theory. We saw on some of the promotional material for Collision that Scorpio Sky was in that promotional material.
He is?
Yeah, he was on some of the stuff I saw. He was like one of the faces. Like he had there was one with a big ass Scorpio Sky like screaming face on it. I can see Scorpio returning at this event with Scorpio returning and teaming with Ethan Page, because Men of the Year was a really good tag team. Scorpio has been healthy, but apparently by all accounts, by reputable sources of like dirt sheet people, there was no creative plans set in place for him. I think a lot of these no creative plans things were due to Rampage, or not Rampage, but Collision kind of being negotiated and worked out. That would make sense in my opinion, but I don't know. But but if the match happens as is, that should still be an entertaining, fun match. All right. So I think that's on the buy-in, but that may or may not be on the buy-in. It's not. The website I'm looking on doesn't have it in bold black, so I'm going to assume that's going to be on the 0 hour buy-in. No, wait, on the buy-in. Mm-hmm. Ring of Honor has the 0 hour, so yeah, the buy-in. Next up, we got Anarchy in the Arena. This isn't the match order that's going to happen that night, y'all. I think that Anarchy in the Arena should open the show, because if you're going to, well, we'll get to why that. I think the world title 4-way match, Pillars match should close. You should book in the show with 2 of the hottest things you've been building. So Anarchy in the Arena should open it, and then you should close with the Pillars, because if these are your future main eventers, you've been telling us all this time, these guys are the future of the company. This is your future main event scene. What better way to establish them as the main event than literally letting them go out there, sink or swim, be the main event? Because if you position these guys and the world title, because it's with these 4 young guys, as less important than something else on the show, then you are not so subtly telling the rest of, you're telling the audience, yeah, the world title's here. Yeah, these guys are all talented, but they're not as big stars as Mox and Danielson and whoever. And that may well be true, and objectively speaking, right? But you want to put the perception out there that we believe in these guys. These guys are the future of the company. This is where we're going. We're going all in on these guys. So I say, open up with something that is going to be hot for the crowd.
I don't think they'll open with that. I think the last Anarchy in the Arena was like the middle of the show.
Yeah, middle of the show.
It'll be something like that. I don't think they'll open
so that you got more time to like clean. We'll see. But fair enough. I see your logic though. Next we have the International Championship.
The last one, the Jericho one, was like in the middle of the show. I got it.
Was it? I thought it was like the second or third match on the card.
It wasn't. It didn't open.
It did. You're right. It didn't open. All right. Next, we have Orange Cassidy doing Orange Cassidy things in the most Orange Cassidy way, defending his international championship in a blackjack battle royale, meaning he will face off against 20 competitors in a battle royale for his championship. I think this is a good way to take the belt off Cassidy without having it be pinned, but also they've been very intentional about building both on Ring of Honor TV and on Rampage and on Dynamite, building up to a match between himself and Kyle Fletcher. Since Kyle Fletcher of Aussie Open.
Well, that's Wednesday.
Oh, they're doing it this Wednesday. Oh, that changes everything for me. Okay, well, I thought they were going to hold that off till Forbidden Door. That's where I was going with that whole preamble. Never mind. That's they're going to cook this week. Damn. All right. Them boys going to put on the show. Anyway, this could be the time to take the belt off of Orange Cassidy. Also, 2 guys are making a big return, right? Collision. Andrade could win that belt because Orange Cassidy has had a continued feud with La Facion and Gobernable. So I can see what better way to bring Andrade back than put some gold on him and let that man just have bangers, or have Miro win the international championship and have bangers. One of those 2 guys could go in that match and win it. Cassidy doesn't have to get pinned, so you don't burn a pay-per-view one-on-one singles match for it. Orange Cassidy has you're literally facing 21 other guys, so to speak. And Orange Cassidy every week has accumulated a new injury. I think at some point he should just roll out to the ring in a wheelchair with all his different injuries. But, they're probably not going to do that. But yeah, I don't think Orange Cassidy retains. I don't think we're going to have major title changes. I think Orange Cassidy is going to, there's no trios title match announced for the pay-per-view. And I think they're going to add that this week, since there was a reason that the Acclaimed and, can't believe I'm calling a grown ass man, Daddy Ass, had a trios match on Rampage this past week. So, and they did win that battle royale thing to, challenge. So why not go ahead and do that match now? I mean, you could save it for the debut of Collision to have, a title match there, but we'll see. Next, TBS Championship. This match should bang because Taya Valkyrie has looked much better, to my credit, than has in the past held me accountable for my views on Taya. I will say, I was not impressed with her NXT run at all. Her return to Impact.
I don't think she was impressed with her NXT run.
Okay, so we agree with that. I know she was doing her thing in Impact. She looked better there. And I'm going to say it. I liked her most. My exposure to her.
She died in Impact.
I've liked her. She said she what? Said she died in Impact?
They killed her. That's how she left.
Oh, yeah.
They literally
okay.
killed her.
I thought you meant like in like the fanciest term. Yeah. They killed her. Just like they killed your boy, what's his name? Eric Young. Eric Young got killed.
They killed Bunny.
He got shaked to death by Cody Dean. I know we get our jokes off about Impact, but I actually do. I do enjoy some elements of Impact, mainly the wrestling. The wrestling has always been pretty high quality in Impact. Especially the women's division over there is top notch.
Yeah,
as far as North America.
Cool.
But I like that they embrace. Fair enough. I heard Trinity had a really good match. I need to go back and watch that. I like that they embrace the more like Florida Championship wrestling elements, people. The Smoky Mountain supernatural elements of wrestling. Like you said,
if you're leaving the territory, you gotta die.
You gotta die. Impact is gonna get you out the paint. Like, yo, I don't know. Impact did a whole thing where Eddie Kingston did a drive-by on a child to get LAX up out of there. Like, damn. Yeah. Yes. They killed the little homie they used to come out. I was like, yo, that was wild, man. That was wild. But like, I did like that about Impact. But anyway, went off on a tangent. We've been doing better about tangents though since we started getting show notes. So y'all, acknowledge your boys, man. Acknowledge us like Roman. We'll get to that. Yes, Ben, I'm gonna have that moment. I went to SmackDown. It was fun. It's good. You should take EJ once. Anyway,
I'll take him to AEW first.
I'm gonna take Seth to the next AEW show.
Quality over here.
If it's close by, and he doesn't have school the next day. Oh yeah. If we get a Dynamite this summer, I'll definitely I'll take Seth with me. All right.
Yeah. Or shit, if we get a Collision, I don't know when.
Oh, true. Oh, that'd be a Saturday too? Hell yeah. Jade Cargill versus Ty should be a really good match. Their first match was really good. It's wild to me that we've seen every single match that Jade Cargill has had because she has not done the House Rules shows. Hell, if we get a House Rules show, I will go to that. But yeah, that match should be good. I've really been enjoying their feud. Your best friend, JD from New York, lost the plot on that.
I'm blocked by JD from New York.
He'll probably never see our podcast as we're not that big, but if he does see this, I will be soon too. Yeah, that should be a good
I don't even remember exactly what I said to him.
I think you called him a bitch, if I recall. I'm pretty sure you called him a bitch.
I think I said grow up. I'm pretty sure I just said grow up. I don't think I called him a bitch.
You might have.
I called whatever one of his fans that was in my mentions.
That guy. Okay, yeah, that is right. So, TNT Championship.
Because he was in my mentions for like 2 fucking days.
Yo, he really was. That nigga was wild and B. Yo, so we're going to keep running down the card, but we're also going to give our commentary on angles and workers and things that have been going on. Ben, how do you feel about the idea that Wardlow lost steam post the MJF feud and that his TNT title run, basically that Wardlow is damaged goods that they gotta reheat up and there's some fixing we got to do with Wardlow.
He is not damaged goods. I think he did cool off a bit.
I agree that he cooled off.
Damaged goods.
I think that go ahead. It's actually your opinion.
I think the way the TNT title has been booked since Miro has been a little wonky. Yeah. Like I didn't think
I got the logic of it, but
Hobbs should have lost it
right
as quickly as he did.
That was kind of always the plan, apparently.
Wardlow won it the day before and then lost it. Yeah,
it's a TV title.
Yeah, it was
TV
a lot.
Titles are kind of meant to change hands on TV and often move around though. So I accept. I accept that aspect of it, but I do agree with you. He cooled off. I don't think he's damaged goods. I think the problem with Wardlow is that
he ain't damaged goods.
Once he had to start wrestling, and we saw this early too. Remember that banging match him and Orange Cassidy had for the belt? And people were like, well, one is babyface versus babyface. I actually like the AEW does that because it's an athletic competition at the end of the day. And people were like, well, Wardlow shouldn't be giving up anything to Orange Cassidy. You mean the dude that beat Powerhouse Hobbs in X amount of seconds, whose Superman punch has been shown to be a very effective maneuver against larger guys, who used his speed and dexterity and everything else against Wardlow. Like, Wardlow didn't look weak in that match. He had a competitive match and he still beat him by being more powerful and also got to show off some of his high flying stuff that he can do. So but the thing is, what got Wardlow over was being a monster and demolishing people, both roster members and job guys. Okay, or enhancement talent, because I don't want to be disrespectful to the. I got a homie in the industry that niggas don't like to be called jobbers and shit, especially by niggas like us. So enhancement talent. The problem came in where people, I think they need to reframe how we watch Wardlow wrestle, and the fans have to just start accepting that. Because, hey, it's funny that we talk about Wardlow having a match with Orange Cassidy and giving him too much, but people really liked the mini feud between Fuego del Sol and Miro. I enjoyed those matches. Fuego got his stuff in.
Yeah.
But he still lost. And Miro, like, got to put the paws on him. Like, he got to put hands and feet on him to punish him for embarrassing him by competing. So, like, that, like, you can do those matches and do them well. Also, speaking of Collision,
yeah,
Fuego del Sol, great guy to put there. Ring of Honor, great place to put Fuego as well. But
Fuego's injured.
He, that is right. He got injured. Because I was thinking, damn, where's Fuego been? Because Fuego was on TV pretty. Because he was doing enhancement stuff, but like he was getting when he comes back.
Yeah, he fucked his ankle up.
Do you think? Hear me out. Fuego del Sol comes back as a heel and joins La Facion.
I don't think they need him.
Or tag. Oh, second pitch. Fuego comes back. People love Fuego, so it's going to be hard to get him booed. He comes back, and he tags with Bandito, and they are officially the Best Amigos, who are down with the Best Friends, who are vicariously now inducted into Chaos. Forbidden Door goes down. Rocky Romero comes in as his lucha character, or not. I just want to see Roppongi Vice. And
I would like Bandito to do way cooler things in tag team with Swerve. So,
Fuego's cool, man.
And that's not really meant to be like a shot of Fuego. So
okay, I get what you're saying.
Bandito as a you
want to see Bandito cook, basically. Oh, international championship match. What if Bandito wins it?
He could.
He's an all-around better wrestler.
I think they're going to give it to somebody like.
I'm thinking like Miro or.
And they ain't giving it. Yeah, Miro.
Why not? Miro or Andrade?
Or somebody like that. Miro or Andrade. I can see him giving it to Bandito. But Miro and Andrade. But then again, that would be beating someone in your faction. So.
Is he officially in their faction or not? Oh, they had a banging match with each other.
I think he is.
They can run that rematch. I mean, he's hanging with them, so like I guess. Oh, but Ben, AEW has too many factions. Anyway, we've talked all about the TNT title and everything else. So here's the match, right, for the pay-per-view. I told y'all we're gonna kind of go around the world with this content, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so because like fuck that Laker game, they're losing. They're my team, but they're losing. We got Wardlow versus the Brunch God, aka Mr. F Yo Dad, aka the guy in the tag team that actually was the Shawn skills wise. Just didn't have the Shawn look for Vince. Really? You don't think Christian is one of the most technically sound, smooth dudes who's ever walked in?
Yeah, but Edge is also like,
hold on.
It's not.
I wasn't knocking. Hold on. I'm not knocking Edge. Edge is great. Edge is a first ballot all-time Hall of Famer. Edge is an incredible talent. I didn't like his King Lear Shakespeare sitting on the throne of skulls promos, but I'm never gonna be like Edge want that nigga. Edge is that nigga, like respectful. Same for my thing is that Christian is so underrated by comparison. It's kind of wild to me at times how people act like Christian Cage isn't Christian Cage. But anyway, I think his AEW run, especially once he turned heel, because you remember the discourse around the time he was facing Kenny for the championship at All Out. People were like,
yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah,
and they had a fucking dope ass match.
Did. They had two of them, Ben. One for the Impact Championship on the debut episode of Rampage. They had a banging match for that.
Rampage,
and then they had a banging match at. Now more cool things happened throughout the show of that All In, because we had the debut of Adam Cole, we had the debut of Bryan Danielson after that. But like Christian,
I think we get a debut of somebody. I think we get a debut
at Double or Nothing. We're not.
Well, I think we probably would. We definitely would have if if
no,
Sasha Mercedes hadn't broke her ankle.
That Boston collision,
But
is there a Boston? There's a Boston something happening.
there's a Boston.
There's a Boston something coming up.
Yeah,
and you don't got to wrestle. You can just, hey, your debut. AEW usually doesn't just debut somebody in a match. Someone that's going to be there long term at least. They'll have like, Vikingo versus Kenny because he's pulling up to do a couple of dates. But Mercedes, if they land Mercedes, she don't got to wrestle yet. Saraya didn't. Hey, Saraya just walked out in Grand Slam. No physicality.
Yeah. Mercedes come out in crutches because she broke her ankle like yesterday.
As long as they're wrapped in money. I mean, yes, I got to watch that show too. I got to get back and check that joint out. But yeah, so we got a ladder match between Wardlow and Christian Cage. That should be very interesting. So, question, because just from a show watching experience, it was wow. We're really going to watch nigga the homie Rashad getting married the day before, and then like I'm coming home after that, and then we're gonna watch the pay-per-view. It's wild. Great weekend. Anyway, with having basically this match is basically gonna be a TLC match because they're not going to not do the thing, right? They're gonna do the thing. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have a match with Plunder. You also got Anarchy in the arena. You got to think about spacing the ladder match and those matches a good distance apart. So the way like I'm reading this card, I'm reading from the bottom of this page up. And so this page has Anarchy, International Championship, Jade, and then the TNT Championship. I think that is the right way to start the show off. So there's distance between all the stuff you're going to see in Anarchy in the arena. And, there's no DQs in the multi-man match. So there's going to be some toys are going to come out in the four-way match. Sammy's jumping off of something high.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we'll see though. So the World Tag Team Championship match.
Well, when we get to the championship, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah. The World Tag Team Championship match. Oh, I got a theory too. We probably got the same theory. We'll see. FTR versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, with Mark Briscoe as a special guest referee. So, and apparently Kerry Jarrett is going to be doing some TV dates. As soon as I saw her on Dynamite, I was
just hanging out with them, or
I don't know. Was she
just hanging out with Jeff?
She was on Dynamite. I was like, I don't need this. I don't want this. I actively hate this. And then I had
you don't even like the Brewu guy. You don't even like.
I don't.
You know what has happened since Jeff Jarrett showed up? House Rules, Collision, apparently a new TV deal.
Really, nigga? You gonna play me like I do you with QT?
He is the draw.
He's the catalyst.
He is the
Jay
draw.
White is not the catalyst.
He's the catalyst. The draw.
Oh, speaking of Jake, we're probably
we're probably getting that match on here.
Let's take a segue. So Ben was not a fan of the ending of the Ricky Starks and Jay White main event. I got it. I get it. We're getting the blow off match at the pay-per-view.
I get what they're doing.
You just didn't like the way
I wasn't a fan. Out. No, but I get what they're doing. It's not the end of the world. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, this is the worst.
Yeah, because AEW doesn't often doesn't do DQs. Period. Like they do them, but they're very sparing and they have a meaning when you have them, and they definitely don't just do them in main events.
Yeah, I know why they did it.
Yeah, right. I get why they did it, and I actually liked it. So like I said in our chat, I like that Ricky Starks said, "Nah, fuck this. Y'all been fucking with me all night. Y'all been fucking with me for weeks. I just want to beat your ass." And like back in the day, that's exactly what The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin would have done. Yeah, he gets a win. It's a DQ, but I'm about to beat this nigga ass. That's what I came here to do.
Yeah,
I tried to do it within the confines of the rules. His mans is out there messing with me. He fucking with me. All right, cool. He fucked around and he found out. I just wish that I'll say this. I get some people that were like, the referee should have disqualified Ricky immediately. So if, like, let's say as soon as he hit him with the chair with the gut check, and the ref was like, hey, and Ricky was like, it just went in on him. It went in on Juice. So I get that aspect of it. But like, to me, all roads are leading to Rome here. So hopefully we get Jay White versus Ricky Starks. That match is going to cook. Them boys was doing their thing, and they were doing, like we said, the ending was a DQ, so they really weren't going full board. This is pay-per-view time speed. I can't wait to see what they do when it's like time to really go. This list doesn't have Jericho and what's called on it either. So Jericho and Adam Cole are. This isn't on the list.
Yeah, unsanctioned matches.
Unsanctioned matches on here. Yeah, they're gonna have an unsanctioned match. That should be dope. So then again, another match with Plunder. There's gonna be a lot of hardcore, not death match, but hardcore wrestling on this show. Like you said, back to Mr. Bree Woo. Jeff Jarrett has always been a great wrestler. So let me address this, because there's been multiple times we've discussed Jeff Jarrett since he arrived at AEW. I don't need that nigga on my TV in the year of our Lord 2023. He's a great business mind. He's done the house rules shows. Great idea. Also, that's basically him. Like some things Ben was being facetious, but in dead seriousness, he has all of those. He knows like the smaller markets that you can go to and draw a full house at, and he's getting those younger guys those reps. Like Jeff Jarrett being hired as an office guy, great move, because he was already doing that at WWE. So like in that capacity, yes, Jeff Jarrett looks amazing for his age. Jeff Jarrett can still go in the ring. He. If you've ever, like, all jokes aside, like I'm like 80% just talking shit when I shit on Jeff Jarrett because he's a heel, and Jeff Jarrett shows up and he gets heel heat from people out of this. Like if you watch when he does anything in AEW, you know what's wild? Remember a couple weeks ago where Mark Briscoe came out, was like, everybody chill, you my boy, them your boys, these my boys, everybody get some tequila. And Jeff Jarrett, like when he threw his drink on the mat, did you hear like the amount of the booze rained down on this man? But I was like, that son of a, and I realized Jeff Jarrett is an alcoholic. Jeff Jarrett has been sober X amount of years. Jeff Jarrett, not the character. The man was like, nope, not even gonna. I love the business, but not gonna love my family and the life I'm living more. This nigga is so hated that this fan base that is, hardcore fans, but like hardcore fans that know that this man has is a recovering alcoholic, is a now sober living man. They know this. Mm-hmm. And I'm counting me. Like I said, I'm counting me in that bin. I know that man is like, he did what he needed to do for his life. But when he threw the tequila down, I'm like, that son of a bitch. That Ree-Roo didn't put AJ Styles over at the right time. He shouldn't have beat Monty Brown, motherfucker. So this match is going to get heat. Also, can we stop acting like, I don't know, Jay Lethal is not great at the wrestling? Because that's still a narrative going around, Ben. He is. That's still a narrative going around. That Jay Lethal remember when people were complaining that Jay Lethal signed and he wasn't doing anything, and he should have, if he was going to leave, he should have went to Impact or tried for NXT. Remember those combos? Now it's like, there's too much Jay Lethal. Why does Tony Khan like Jay Lethal so much? Anyway.
Because he's an excellent hand.
Yes.
That is 100% the reason.
You don't mean it in an insulting way. Yes. He's an excellent hand in the same way that Seth Rollins is an excellent hand for WWE. He can put over who you want to be put over.
He's a veteran presence. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's a really good wrestler.
He's an excellent hand. You didn't say he's a good hand.
Injection is a hilariously goofy move.
It is, but it looks cool, and I like watching people.
It gets countered like a million different ways.
And you know what? He knows
all the different counters.
Jay Lethal knows that, and he's prepared counters for the counters.
Yes.
Because he's Jay fucking Lethal. One of the best Ring of Honor champions ever. Imagine if Impact had given him a similar level push. Could you imagine the matches we would have got if Impact had taken Jay Lethal as seriously as Ring of Honor did back when they still had AJ and Christopher Daniels?
He is a black machismo.
No, not when he was black machismo. Because remember, there was a time where he dropped that altogether right before leaving. It was like a little right where basically the Jay Lethal that went back to Ring of Honor was the guy that he ultimately, anyway. Yeah. AEW Women's World Championship match. We're gonna get some violence. Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm. Word is that Hayter is injured, but wait a minute. I think
she'll be back, apparently.
Yeah, usually we get about like two or three buy-in matches, right? Sheeta just came back to TV. Why not Sheeta versus Ruby for one of those? Like, I'm just saying. I would like very much. I would like. It would be cool. And finally, we're not missing anything, right? Because I know some stuff happened on TV that didn't. Do you think we get a Swerve Lee match, or are they going to save that for something else?
Nah, they're probably going to save that for something else.
You know what? That is a good idea. I think you should move both them brothers to Collision, or give them a bigger role on Dynamite, so their feud has.
Yeah. Or
you can just make Rampage.
Yeah, I don't think we get them
their thing, which I'm not knocking it, but also it does. I would rather see them on Collision or Dynamite, since the bigger amount of audience gets to see those guys there. Yeah. So the pillars. Let's go, Ben.
So MJF is going to win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jungle Boy turns heel.
Jungle Boy? Because of the trunk pull?
They've been
because of the Roosh match. A lot of people have been talking about that.
He's been doing some the trunk pull at there was something else he did that hinted.
The MJF has constantly been like, I'm telling you, if you were more like me, I said out of all of us, besides myself, you have the most amount of talent. If you just the difference, he even said the difference between me and you is I was willing to be a shark. I'm okay with people hating me. I could see that. But the reason why I didn't buy into the Roosh thing is that whole match, Roosh and Jose was fucking with it. They was fucking with this man. He gave them a taste of their own medicine, which is a very, traditional babyface move.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't turn heel, but I honestly think it's probably time to pull one of them to heel, because Sammy has turned back babyface.
Has he? I think Sammy's bullshit. I think Sammy's turned face the same way The Rock was a face going into Deadly Games 98, Survivor Series 98. I think Sammy is going to lay down. I think Sammy is going to lay down, and that keeps heat on both of them. Also, that's a blank check. Sammy's going to be like, it's a blank check. I wrote myself a champion's salary off of that check without having to do a champion's work, because a lot of people still are just going to hate Sammy regardless. So why not lean into it and play it up?
I think they've been trying to turn Sammy back babyface for a while, because he was actually a good babyface.
I was saying
before nerds became.
He was until people found out he had a relationship with an attractive woman. I said this on Twitter.
Yes, basically.
And nobody jumped in my mentions to be like, no, you wildin', whoopty-doodle-doo. Not saying that's the end-all be-all, but like, yo, Sammy was we were there. We watched Sammy wrestle at Battle of the Belts for the interim TNT championship against Dustin in the South, in the Carolinas. It's Flair country, but this is Rhodes country. And Sammy was over in that match. Honestly, I think in that match, Sammy would have been over against Cody in that match. Sammy was over against Cody when they had the final match where they unified the belts. Sammy was over against Garcia, which, by the way, run that. Ooh, you know what? Now that you mention it, if you turn Sammy face, have him separate from the JSA, we can run some good old. We can run back that Sammy versus Garcia match, because those two guys, them boys were cooking. Yeah, Sammy was a fighting champion as a babyface. It wasn't until he got until they really put in the Cody hand-me-down creative, because they wanted to get to that mixed tag match. It's like, well, Sammy and Ty are a couple. Let's do that. And then people were like, oh, I have not seen a vagina.
All of that.
I hate him.
All of that was bad.
The matches actually worked out, but the match that Scorpio Sky won, them niggas was cooking. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, the creative was bad, but
I legitimately thought Sammy was hurt in that match with Scorpio Sky.
Which one? They had
like, I legitimately thought the one where he
they had two for the title,
did like a 450 off the fucking ladder, and like there was no way for Scorpio Sky to actually catch him, so he kind of just didn't.
Oh, that's yeah. You know what's funny?
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was 450.
Hurt. I saw it clear as day, like in my mind's eye. Like, oh yeah, that spot was.
There was no way for Scorpio Sky to catch him. Like, there was literally no way for Scorpio Sky to
Not
do
without hurting
anything there.
himself.
But like I'm going to bump into you and fall down. I'm not catching you, bro. Like I cannot. Yeah. So we'll see. The card looks like it's gonna be very good. Yeah. I'll probably come to your crib and watch this if you're doing
I'm doing it, man. Yeah.
I gotta work the next morning, so I'll see.
True. Good point. Shout out to my homeboy's girlfriend Bree. She does have points. AEW pay-per-views are long, but also this isn't a network and you're paying for it. So I would want to get my money's worth out of it. I don't mind the shows being
there's like
4 or 5 hours. You know what? They've never even done a 4 or 5. You know who has done those? WWE. There's never been an AEW pay-per-view that's crossed like the 4 hour.
No, that hasn't.
Yeah, none of them have. And that's including the freaking I guess if you include the like 0 hour, you get past 4 hours. But anyway. So yeah. Double or Nothing should be fire. Double or Nothing is almost always, even when the cards like don't have the craziest builds, like to hear that Eddie Kingston and John Moxley had the I Quit match as the main event. It was crazy. It was a great card.
Yeah.
Double or Nothing does not disappoint.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
We can save the R&B conversation when Taylor is here with us. I'll close on this, I guess.
Yeah.
So I took my son to see SmackDown. They taped 2 episodes. So this coming Friday's episode will be the second part of the show I was at. I missed like the first 30 minutes or so of the show. We got there during the AJ Styles, Grayson Waller segment. Like niggas was sitting in our seat. It was myself, my son, and another black family that some guys, yes, before you ask, yes, they were in the wrong section. Yes, they were in our seats. So I found a black lady that was an usher and she moved them. And then we got in our seats. Anyway, after that, the show went smooth. It's real cool. I'm not going to go into like what happened on the show because SmackDown, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was a good time. My son had fun. He really, he was kind of like reserved, but then he got into it and had fun throughout the rest of the show. The son of the kids, the son of the family that was sitting next to us, he like really, both our black boys had a good old time. So it was really fun, sitting next to my people and just enjoying the thing that we could all enjoy together. And there were some major differences I noticed between going to a AEW show and a WWE show. And I'm not being tribal here. I'm just saying brass tacks realities. When there was a commercial break on the WWE show, I've heard about this from like watching Grapsody and just other things and just talking to other people that have gone to shows. I saw like 2 or 3 entrances where the entrance, so when you're watching on TV and you see somebody coming to the ring, right? They play the music. They walk to a certain point. Even the screens on the stage like stop and like either play a video package or play a commercial for WWE. And so you got like talent just standing there in the ring trying to keep you hyped. And God bless those girls that debuted from NXT and their opponents. I forgot their names, but Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Alba Fire, I know you're like, nigga, I ain't watching this shit. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
I don't know who you're talking about.
They're the current NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Two pretty solid workers.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Formerly Kaylee Ray Ben, the UK chick. Kaylee Ray can go. Isla Dawn has some work to do, but they have a cool tag team finisher. And I think her being in the tag team has worked out well for her because she's getting to develop with somebody with more experience. But great look, very interesting gimmick. Mm-hmm. But their match it was a squash basically. They had a squash match for their debut, but they had a cool entrance, right? They got like all the gimmicks and everything, and they come out and they got the cool screen, and they come to they everyone's kind of like into their entrance, and then they just stop, Ben, because we're on commercial. They literally come out with like torches and flames and things look cool, and then it just goes. Next time, come to Saudi Arabia for the do-do-do-do. And they're just standing there like holding their pose with like their torches. It looks fucking ridiculous. Because like, I was like, wait, I heard it happen, right? But when seeing it is very different than hearing it happens. Or like, and no one did like the Kevin Owens thing, like, because Kevin Owens apparently would like be Kevin Owens and like start talking to the crowd. Like, That's like the 7th time we've seen this video. Get some new material. Like, he'll entertain you during a commercial break. But, you know, these are NXT people, so they're like, okay, just do what we're told. And not just them. Like, Austin Theory had that moment happen. I think it happened during Sheamus's intro. It was just, like, really weird to, like, watch it happen. I was like, wow, y'all just stand there. Or, like, they had, like, in between, like, so we've been to shows together, as I mentioned before. So in AEW, when there's like if there's an interest during a commercial break, they just start wrestling. They do their full interest for the crowd, or you're going to get a match. Or like in the like, I think we've only seen that happen like twice where there was a match through a commercial break when I went back and watched it on TV. But but they do the like an entrance or like an entrance. I meant to say entrance, not a match. But yeah, I think we've only been like 2 shows where that's happened, where there was like an entrance that had to like go during TV. And usually that's the person that's coming out like first. But they still come out and do their thing, and the second person comes out. So when there's like TV commercial time where there's like no wrestling or a promo happening in an AEW show, if they're setting something up in the ring, they like interact. They have people come out and interact with the crowd. You have Justin Roberts like doing either like just random stuff, riffing with the crowd, having fun. You know, bringing people into the ring to like bring 2 or 3 people into the ring to like run a thumb war gauntlet during commercial time or rock, paper, scissors. Like, just there's interaction. One thing I will say that AEW doesn't do that they need to do at their live events is when there is the actual downtime, like back when they used to like shoot dark and elevation there. You got enough content built up now to like run matches, like to show matches, like WWE does, show moments. Like they've got enough built up over the past 4 years now to do that. So that's one thing that I do think is better at the WWE live experience. But I enjoyed both. I prefer the AEW experience because I'm more about watching the in-ring action. There was a lot of promos at SmackDown. There was a lot of there was 2 talk show segments that I watched get filmed. There was like I said, a lot of promo stuff that was filmed. The matches were fun, but at the same time, it's like I like that AEW isn't so promo heavy, and when they are happening, they are very relevant to what's about to be paid off in a big way. So, generally like enjoy your wrestling. Shouts out to Will Washington for that phrase. I know Ben will never go to a WWE live event with me, especially now that NXT is no longer black and gold NXT.
Yeah. My brother actually asked me about going, and I was like, I'm not.
It was a good time. I didn't realize how many of my coworkers and like just the homies on Facebook were into wrestling, period. Because like when I ran into them at the show, they were talking about like Resurgence is this weekend, yada yada. I'm like, yo, how did I notice about you? So some people are still in the closet with their fandom. I need you to go out here and wear a black t-shirt with a logo on it. Get your Bullet Club shirts out, bros. Other than that,
I have the only Bullet Club shirt I have is a Villain Club shirt.
Oh, is that no? Did you go to the mall with me that time? Well, yes, I didn't. Was it you or was it Rashad?
I don't know when I bought this. Nigga, I've had this shirt forever. like I've had this shirt forever. I bought it. I have a Naito shirt. I bought it when I bought my Naito shirt.
I got a low shirt.
And I've had this shirt for a long time. It was like before Marty even really was in ROH. It was straight New Japan shit. But yeah, it's a Villain Club shirt. And like, one, I'm way larger than I was when I bought this shirt, so it doesn't even fit correctly anymore. And 2, I'm pretty sure I got rid of it, actually. I did get rid of it because I can't fit it no more. But, yeah, because I'm fat. Jonesy walked off, I guess, to find a t-shirt, ignoring that this is an audio podcast, and no one will see that unless I decide to finally post the videos. We will eventually start posting our videos again.
I want to get a proper Naito shirt.
Trying to figure out how I want to launch something to post a video, so we'll get to that. But yeah. But yeah, I don't even have that shirt anymore. I was saying I got rid of it.
I almost bought the long sleeve one with like the with the bird logo and it wasn't a Bullet Club style one. It was just like a villain shirt. It was the one where he had the Plague Doctor mask and like the umbrella behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. I almost bought that joint. I would probably still buy it. Like out
Ain't
of
nobody gonna know what the fuck you wearing.
Yeah, I mean, some people will, but like out of all the speaking out stories, Marty is a guy that actually was like, okay. I don't mean what he did was okay. I mean like the fact he was like, okay, my read on that situation. It kind of reminds me of that the Me Too Aziz Ansari stuff where he was like, I did not read our interaction that way. I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. Et cetera, et cetera. Like he showed contrition. So Marty was like, hey, we were in this type of environment. We were vibing. I thought that his wasn't like Rape Goblin, Vince McMahon type. Get in this, or you know what? No, fuck that. His wasn't like Jack Gallagher, like, yo, I saw you go in the bathroom and I kicked in the door after you and then, oh, you didn't. Oh, Jack's story is, there's a reason why Buddy has disappeared and has to do like MMA and like bare knuckle boxing now. His is like,
yikes.
Yeah, his was like Friday After Next, Damon and Money Mike in the bathroom level energy. But Marty's was like, oh, we were vibing. I thought we were making out, feeling each other. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Sincerely, what I did was wrong. If that's how I made you feel, then it was wrong, regardless of what I thought about it. But, I get it. And I'm not, that's like, talking about that kind of stuff.
It was a whole
like
incident.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how Speaking Out started. But
yeah.
But on a,
about to get a bag.
Yeah. But, that is a dark way to end the show.
Yeah. So let's end it on a lighter note. Double or Nothing this weekend. Collision is coming. The game is coming. Mm-hmm. I need you people, again, to reiterate this point. We have a second alternative that we didn't think we'd see. Yes, TNA was an alternative at its peak, which to me was like probably 06 to 08.
Sort of.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Until they started to try to be WWE Light. I like that AEW is not trying to be WWE Light. It's its own product. It's an alternative. Warner Brothers Discovery is happy with it. Its core fan base are very happy with it because we're getting super served. You don't have to like it. You don't got to watch it. You don't got to engage with it. But actively wanting it to die, as someone that claims to love wrestling, is a very weird take. Actively wanting hundreds of people to lose their jobs and income. That's nasty word. Don't be that type of person. Enjoy your wrestling. Super support it. Support it as much as you can afford to and as much as you wish to. But don't wish ill on any, promotion that's not something that's inherently shitty and or dangerous to people.
What you like.
Like what you like.
Yeah.
Spend more energy on liking what you like and loving what you love and supporting that. And spend less energy on hating something else. Doesn't get you anything in the end.
Boom.
But also, quit setting these weird hurdles.
Message.
Quit setting these weird hurdles because, nigga, AEW is going to keep making y'all look dumb in like, okay, they'll never draw 1 million. That's a rule that y'all niggas who hate it made, right? They did multiple times. They'll never recover after CM Punk. No Punk means no new TV deal. Yeah, about that. Warner Brothers can't be happy with them losing 200,000 or 200,000 or whatever viewers. Well, they're still at 800. Sometimes they're at 900. Sometimes they're at 800. They average anywhere between 800,000 to 900 something plus thousand. That's nearly 1 million people every week on cable against live sports. Again, new TV
It is live
deal,
sports season.
whole new full primetime show. The video game's not real. The video game is actually going to lose money because the game's going to be bad. The game's not coming out actually. It's going to come out too late. All the like goalposts that have been set up against this company, they keep clearing them. Wimbledon is going to be such an embarrassment for them. They'll never sell
Wembley.
Thank you, Wembley. They'll never sell Wembley. I haven't been keeping track of the ticket sales because, again, none of that money goes into me or Ben or Taylor's pockets.
It's like 70-something thousand.
No, that was the last announcement.
Last time I saw something, it was like
that was a couple of weeks ago that they were at 70K. Wembley's, well, they rented it and they're renting it at a loss because they're only going to run 40,000 seats.
That makes sense.
Hey man, at this point, if you don't like it, cool, but we ain't gotta lie. We don't have to like. I know the money's in the negative discourse. If we really wanted to like get our podcast popping off, all we'd have to do is we could drop all the other stuff we talk about, like video games, anime, sports, music, whatever.
Just talk about
we can
wrestling.
literally we could not just wrestling. We could literally just talk about all the reasons that AEW is failing, is about to die, and sucks. We could easily go that route.
Oh, lie.
Yeah, we could lie. We could lie and get a lot of engagement. A lot of engagement.
Yeah.
But we have integrity. We got integrity, as Randy Marsh would say.
Sort of.
I mean, sort of. We like we said earlier.
Somebody pay me, I'll lie about it.
Well, I don't know, but I'm not down bad like Ben. But
anything.
Man said he will be.
Do you want me to lie for you?
We will be an anti-AEW, anti-vaxxer, pro Pizzagate podcast for the right price.
Just lying about all sorts of shit that I don't believe in.
We will have Ben Shapiro on here weekly. We will have Mayo Giannopoulos to explain to us why blacks are just inferior. We will facilitate that conversation.
And I'll be agreeing with him. And you are right. Them monkeys are just the worst.
Then when we finally start making money off this shit, somebody's going to take that clip out of context and just...
Good.
Like, yo.
Go ahead.
Fighting against the allegations will be our next level of content after that. Like, yo, they're going to be like, and they fuck with Kevin Samuels. Like, yes. Tell those sweet lies about us.
Yes, just tell them as we receive our paychecks. But thank you guys for listening to the latest episode of Black is New Black. We are out. Peace.
Yep.